We have so many things to talk about in today's Forsaken news, including some news on Jeff the Killer, news about skins for John Doe, important news about the next killer and survivor coming to Forsaken, which involves my detailed analysis on some leaks and teasers that was sent about these characters, my predicted release date for the next big Forsaken update, news about Slasher and his skins, particularly his Milestone 4 skin, and so much more. This is a very exciting Forsaken news video, and I guarantee you'll want to watch it until the end. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into it. First of all, let's talk about Guest 666 and Veronica news. So recently, Hitoko leaked this GIF in his Twitter account with the title, Chapter 2, Strangers from the Past. In the GIF, we can clearly see that it's a mix of both Guest 666 and Veronica, where you can clearly see the TV screen head of Veronica and feel the vibe of Guest 666. This clearly suggests that the next characters coming into Forsaken will be Guest 666 and Veronica, and I'll make this theory sound even more convincing in a second. In the captions of the tweet Hitoko sent, he clearly said something about a Chapter 2, and as this comment pointed out, I guess it's reasonable that by Hitoko saying chapters in the post, he is referring to a new character that's going to be released, which is somewhat similar to what DBD does. Apart from the fact that Hitoko said Chapter 2, we also know that the next major update will include a killer and survivor in the same update. But not only that, it was also mentioned that the next survivor will be a survivalists. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is a very clear link towards Guest 666 and Veronica. First off, Guest 666 is already assumed by the community as the next killer after Noli, which is probably because of the amount of leaks we've gotten about him. Next, Veronica is a survivor that is classified as a survivalist, which links with the statement where the devs said that, quote, the next survivor will be a survivalist. All of this adds up, and by the looks of it, it is somewhat confirmed that the next major update will include 2 new characters, a killer and a survivor, and the killer will be Guest 666, and the survivor will be Veronica. I am super excited about this, and I cannot wait to use Guest 666 in public lobbies. A lot of people are also with me on this, as I've seen so many comments of people being very excited of these 2 new characters that will be coming into the game. That said, though, it is important to note that these characters will take quite a while to be released, because Hitoko did mention how they don't want to rush anything in regards of this update to perhaps make the release smooth and free of bugs of glitches. However, I'm almost confident that this killer will not take as long as Noli to release, because this time, the devs are not caught up on any drama or issues like they did last time, and therefore have all their time and attention to these new upcoming characters. Because of this, I'm assuming that both Guest 666 and Veronica might be released in about 2 to 3 months' time, which is half the time it takes to release Noli. Therefore, I think that they might either release in October or November, depending on the work the devs is willing to put onto this update, and especially these characters. The update will also most likely happen in a weekend, because that's when Forsaken usually updates, so keep an eye out for weekend dates on these months. But of course, this is a prediction, and absolutely anything can happen in the future. In the topic of Guest 666, Cackleblocks recently tweeted out a teaser of Guest 666 in his Twitter account. I'll save the analysis for after you guys have watched the video.
Nope.
The video itself features Noob being scared to death and is being jumped by Guest 666. While the video is funny, especially with the ending, there are a few things that I'd like to talk about. First off, this animation of Guest 666 was shown in the first half of the video. It looks really cool and really well animated. I'm guessing that this might be the idle animation for when Guest 666 isn't moving, or perhaps a teaser for his intro animation. You can just imagine a Guest 666 standing there like a maniac ready to hunt down Noob as an intro animation. Apart from the idle animations in the second half of the video, We can also see this animation of Guest 666. It is basically Guest jumping towards Noob, and this might be a teaser showcase for his leap ability, because it is clear that Guest is obviously leaping towards Noob, and that Guest is said to have a leap ability based from the wiki. The possibility that this animation might be a teaser showcase for Guest's leap ability seems very reasonable. If this was how his leap ability looks like, then it really makes Guest one hell of a killer. Finally, if you take a listen to the audio of the clip carefully, you can see that there's sound effects and a song to it. This might be a teaser to the sound effects for Guest 666 and even Noob. If this were the case, then this is amazing news because they sound really nice and is very well made, especially the sound effects, which I liked a lot. Now, you can say that these theories of mine might be a bit far-fetched, but I've seen a lot of people thinking the same thing as I am, which solidifies my theories. But as usual, do let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Moving on, we have some news for Slasher. Slasher's design is slightly changed a bit in order to fit the community's feedback. Here's the brand new slightly changed design for Slasher. All that has changed is his eyes and mask, where they made the eyes slightly smaller than before, and the mask to look more dirty and scratchy. Even though this is not a significant change towards Slasher's design, it really does add a nice finishing touches and make it look less dull in terms of his face. In the topic of Slasher, UU finally finished the re-render for the Savini Jason skin. This relates to Slasher because UU has said that whenever M4 Slasher is given to me, it'll just put him in the same pose here. The re-render itself looks a lot better than the previous one with the extra details and better lighting, and I'm pretty sure that the Jason in the picture here will be replaced with the new Slasher design. Finally, to end the video, let's talk about Jeff the Killer and a skin for John Doe. So recently, Hockey Marcy, who is a developer for Forsaken that has worked on Noli, Taff, and many other characters, made this post showing us all of his old files that we probably have never seen before. It contained a lot of things, and even Marcy himself said that it would, quote, send the community into a frenzy. Because there is so much to discuss, I've decided to split the things that Marcy showed us on that post between today's and tomorrow's video, so if you'd like to see all of them, then stay tuned. Anyways, let's get back into talking about Jeff the Killer. Within Marcy's post, this video was among the ones that were shared, and it is basically the rig for Jeff. Just take a look. I find the video pretty funny, but it shows the raw 3D model for Jeff the Killer and how he will probably look in-game. Even though you might have probably already seen videos similar to this somewhere else online, I guess it's still pretty cool to see the actual development for this character coming from a developer himself, and I guarantee that this will make a lot of Jeff the Killer fans very excited. Apart from Jeff the Killer's rig, Marcy also talked about skins, particularly skins for John Doe. The Bloxer skin and the Sir Katie skin were the John Doe skins that Marcy talked about in his post. This image here is a blurry teaser of the John Doe Bloxer skin model that Marcy sent. We haven't heard about the Bloxer skin for John Doe in a while, and this was one of the few occasions I've heard the devs actually talk about him. The skin basically features John Doe being fully white with the Bloxer badge on his torso. Overall, the skin looks decent, but as always, do let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. It's been a while since we last heard about this skin, and I've seen people asking the devs for more leaks on the John Doe Bloxer skin. So let's hope for more news about this skin from the devs in the future. Moving on, the Sir Katie skin for John Doe was also talked about in the post Marcy made. It's a very unique dev-exclusive skin based on the Defend the Statue game on Roblox. That said, enjoy the showcase. Anyways, that is all for the video. If you enjoyed it so far, please do give it a like and subscribe for more content like this one. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.